and the Baltimore Ravens.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Time to see this Bengals offense here as they get set for their first drive. And under center, of course, is the #1 pick in the 2020 draft now in year number 2, Joe Burrow.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And he's got room. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Joe Mixon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right. Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there. Mike 3.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The numbers for Mixon last week. 9 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mike 6.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the visiting Bengals who came away with the victory in that one. So they'll look to take the season series now here at home in Cincinnati. On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Mixon with it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Here we go. 5, 6. Here we go.
After the penalty, it's Mixon, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Here we go.
A draw play for Mixon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 4th down, out comes the rookie 5th-round pick, Evan McPherson, for the Bengal field goal. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Jackson now. Buying time to his left. Escapes the defender. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. These 2 teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he takes this all the way inside the Cincy 20. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a third down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go play action with Jackson. Outright, this is Boyle, the tight end. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Brandon Wilson to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Here's Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. He's got a man complete.
Is that it?
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins, 76 yards. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. fights through him. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. Now it's Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 3 yards remain for second down. From the gun, Jackson. He finds Bateman over the middle. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he...
Touchdown! It's complete. Rashad Bateman, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have once again taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment and you have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Tucker now to add the point after. And that makes it 14-10. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Now it's Wilson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Here we go. Mike six. You got nothing. Here we go. 180. Mike's up.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Being chased out left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was the Packers who get the win at home. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in US Bank Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. Cam Akers, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And at the half, they are down to the visiting New York Giants. Daniel Jones, a touchdown pass in that first half. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and the Bengals will take over here first and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. This is Mixon on the draw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 73 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Here's Pirine. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Rolling to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
McPherson's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Jackson, draw play to Dobbins. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he's got this down to the 35.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On 1st down, Dobbins. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down. A nice, consistent gain.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5 now. Jackson. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 4th touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. No return here for Wilson. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. In just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. On the delay, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 93 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here we go.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. In to make the stop, Patrick Queen, the linebacker, the Ravens' leading tackler in 2020.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. To throw, Burrow on the move to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Throwing, Burrow out to his left. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
They've been trying and trying.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review of this being inside 2 minutes of play. Everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
Here we go.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Big 13.
From the gun to give to Mixon. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask moves him closer, and now 1st and goal. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Here's a run with Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Burrow steps away. And he gets in just in the nick of time, so they get the touchdown they need. Now they need a 2-point conversion to tie it.
The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the 2-point conversion to tie the ball game. Here's Burrow rolling to his right. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Everything was riding on that 2-point conversion, and they got it.
They got it. They now have the momentum. Time really dwindling in this game. Now their big deal is make sure they get a good kickoff and don't give up anything big on the defensive end.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Cincinnati set to take over once again. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Adafe Owe able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th. They run for it with Mixon. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Here we go. 180.
A handoff to Mixon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 123 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone, all right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues. Mixon able to slither by, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And my, how the tables have turned. And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Now time to see what Burrow can do here in OT. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. So that's it. No double overtime until the playoffs roll around, so that means this one ends in a tie.
Yeah, that's ultimately unsatisfying for both teams, the fan bases. Heck, for us. We came here to see a winner, right?
We did.
Winner and a loser. We didn't get it. We end up with a tie. Everyone walks away. A little bit cranky on this one.
Man.
Yeah,
MEH, man. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.